$34 is absolutely enormous. We go from support to resistance here, and I think we're going to get Harlan on here in a second, and he can chime in on this one too, because I always like the theory, and I think Harlan talks about that too, where old support can become new resistance, and that General Motors 34 was absolutely enormous. Broke down from there 4 days ago, and here we come back testing. We're only 30 cents off, but I got to think the first time it's going to run into some trouble in the 34 area. Harlan, are you there?
I am here.
Harlan, you snuck in on us there. We're just talking about General Motors here, and I was throwing out some of your stuff there. What do you think on this
Well,
GM chart?
wait.
Because we're saying that 34 might give it a little resistance. Joel wants to ask you something
No,
else
I
first,
know.
though.
No, I just know Harlan. I got him. I got him down, and this stock is traded below the 50-day moving average. So Harlan, he's hands off on this one on the buy side, right, Harlan?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I
What
mean,
about on the
just
sell
draw a line
side?
across 34. Just
That's
draw a
what
line
I'm.
across 34. Everybody who owns it just above 34 is going, wow, after yesterday and the day before, wear you out and scare you out type of market. They're saying, you know what? I'm back to break even. I'm going into a holiday. You know what? I am out of here.
All
So
right, you
anyone who
talked me
bought
into it,
it in
Harlan. I
that
just
zone.
threw my order out there to sell the thing short up at 33.98.
Uh,
They're all
well,
stepping
It's
on
not
me.
getting there though, Day
All the
Dennis.
bots are immediately at
It's not getting
33.97,
there. It's not getting
33.96.
there today. It's not because
yeah,
there's too much
well,
stock there at the 33.60 level,
Okay,
Dennis.
where
It's
do I
not.
throw the short out to get short here? I want to be short the high of the day. You guys tell me where the high is going to
oh my gosh, yeah, good luck with that.
be.
So, but think about it though. I mean, you know, you can't really buy strength in this market. We've seen that. And if you buy it, do you trust it after the last few days? You know, look at the S&P. I mean, if you bought strength the other day, yesterday you were like, oh my gosh, because you came crashing right back down. Of course, you retested support and it's stuck. But, do you really want to chase a market that up 2 days, down 2 days? It's extremely volatile. So, when in doubt, stay out. Don't chase stuff in this market. And, we're going into a holiday. I mean, my best pick of the day is, you know what? Sunday is Easter dinner.
Yeah, yeah. Also, in the midst of
What do
Passover
you want to
here.
ruin your weekend, right?
Well, what
So,
do you do? What do you do on these vicious breaks here? I mean, 2 days in a row, very uncharacteristic for the S and Ps here to make these double V bottoms. There, are you just sitting there with with your bids at your levels, just waiting for them, or what do you do? Do you try and catch them back? When they're coming back up?
well, if you try to catch them as they're coming back up, with the amount of speed that we're seeing these things, like the S&P, like you were talking at the top of the hour, how fast it was. You put an order in and try and catch it on the way up, you're going to get a bad fill. So, do you really want to chase that strength? Do you really want to react to it? Wouldn't you rather act and have a plan? You know, when it's like this, I try not to trade. Really, because your mind is your most important asset, and if you're not all there and you're getting whipsawed, how can you really think clear? How can you think objectively when you're just, your brain is put through a grinder? So, let things settle down. It's like JC said, you're looking for nice quality patterns that are clean, clear, and crisp.
Well, that's not the patterns we've had, Harlan. Okay, J Dot is
Exactly.
J Dot's hopping in here. Big move. Big move in Yahoo overnight. And it's just amazing. This thing sells off really hard. I'm sure it got below the 50-day in those levels. And now you're getting back boom, you're getting all this back. Are you a believer? You buying this Yahoo off the open, or what's your analysis of this issue?
Well, let's look at the last, I don't know, let's say the last 3 weeks, just overall, not Yahoo in particular, just overall. You'll notice for the most part, if you buy strength, it isn't but a day or two later you wish you wouldn't have. So, do you really want to buy this strength after, it's gone from, 32 to, where did you say it is right now? I'm looking at a different
Got
chart.
back. It's
Almost
yeah,
37
yeah,
bucks.
$37.
Yeah, 32 to 37. That's a huge, for a swing trader, that's a huge move. And where are you going? You're going up into all that slop back in February and March.
Right.
So, again, do you really want to chase the strength given the climate of don't blink? So
Yeah. Yeah, it seems
I'm
like
just not
this.
one to chase strength in this kind of climate.
I think I agree with you. It seems like this market, like short term, when you're short term trades, like if you're looking minute to minute, sometimes the chasing has been working. But if you're looking just looking at an hourly perspective, it seems like, even looking at the S&P futures moves from the last few days, if you were chasing that move yesterday morning up at 1835, boom, it gave you another shot to rebuy at 1810. It seems like if you're fading these hourly moves, you're making some money in this market.
Well, that's just it. Because we're seeing strength is getting sold. And for traders that are very short term, if you're in YHOO and you got the nice pop, that's a nice pop. Why do you need to push it?
I agree. I mean, you got a lot of supply in there. You had a couple good, I'm sure you caught some people here, at the 35. Okay, 35 is the bottom. You got the pop back up to 37. Came back from 35, caught more people, 34, 33, gets down almost at $32. The way I look at it here is that, there's just a lot of supply there. And to get this kind of move overnight, it is doing good volume. I mean, I'm not saying, go out flat out short the thing, but I'd like to see, the trading. I think the first 5-6 minutes is, really crucial in these stocks to see if they can continue the momentum. And also, you'd like to use the parameters from the pre-market trading. This thing got all the way to 37.70, Harlan. I really think that's going to hold up as the high of the day. And sellers came down to under 37.50, 37.40 level here. 37 was a bunch of tops too, but I agree, just a lot of supply here. So, so if we're not buying strength here, then we're selling strength. Is there some things that you're looking at from the short side today?
Well, maybe not today, because I'm more of a little bit longer term relative to day trading and in and out. I'm more of a swing trader, so I'm looking for patterns. And you know how I like to buy issues that are in clearly defined uptrends, pulling back off their highs. Well, flip that over.
Okay.
Just invert that style. I'm looking for names that are in clearly defined downtrends that are pulling back off their lows to a resistance level. So, for me, I'd be looking at names that are going to get bounces up into resistance and look for, shorter term bear channels, things of that caliber up into resistance zones. And that's the ones I'd be looking to short. I'm not seeing a lot right here, but, you take a look at a stock like PANW.
Okay.
That stock, it broke a clearly defined Palo Alto Networks.
Yep, you've mentioned that stock
clearly
before.
Defined uptrend.
Yep.
And you're looking
Just
where
throw
at
that
that
up there with a
70
50
bucks
days.
maybe? Are you looking at that $70 as resistance? Or?
Draw a line off your lows. Off your lows sub 60.
Okay.
Okay.
If you draw a line off of sub 60 and line up all those lows, we got to go to a little bit longer. There it is. Yeah, you break that down or that short-term uptrend here to the downside. That's kind of what I'm looking for. That's setting up. So how far is it going to go to the upside? I don't know. I just know when it breaks down, that's pretty much where you want to be. You want to be looking for pullback off of lows in issues that are in clearly defined downtrends. So, think of it this way. That whole piece off of the March high, that's your first thrust down. Now it's snapping back, So if it wants to pull A, B, which is what it's in now, after A, B, it's called SIA, right to the downside. So, the ones that are going to be the best are the ones that are in tandem with the indexes. So, but it's just really super volatile. And, we're seeing that strength get sold a lot. I'm not one to go chasing this stuff. We also have Google? Google's on deck?
Yeah, they got earnings.
Tonight.
Yeah.
Tonight.
Yep.
Doesn't Google make up about 8% of the NASDAQ?
I'm not sure what it is, but it's a huge chunk.
Yeah, it's a pretty big number. Yeah,
Yep.
It's a big number. So it's going to have, if it pops, it's going to have an impact on the indexes. So, that's a wild card. We're into a holiday, so, let's see what happens when we get a real market next week. Sometimes you get these too fast, too furious, and you look at the moves yesterday off those lows, there were names that put on, like VIPs, obviously your most high beta stocks, VIPS. That stuff put on like 14 points in a couple of hours. So, how can you want to buy something that's, just made those huge runs in not even a day? Those are great trades if you were to nail the face of fear.
Right,
But,
right.
you
It,
had to
it,
have the guts to step up.
Going back to that PANW. Now, I mean, what you said? You said it broke. It's clearly broke its uptrend here, and it's had quite a move. Are you basing that on the moving averages?
Well, I do use the 50-day moving average as a marker. And, you want to see a stock that typically, when you have a stock that's above the 50-day moving average and trending higher, the 50-day also tends to be support. The flip side is when you have a stock that breaks below the 50-day, that tends to start acting as resistance. So we're going to have some problems around 72.5, 71, assuming we can make it there. So you want to see if that's a zone. That doesn't mean you go, oh, we're at resistance, I'm going to short it. You want to see it start to not stabilize. On the downside, how we always talk about you like to see stocks, when they're down there, they sit there for a few days and supply and stabilize. Same thing. But only flipped over. You want to see stocks stall up there and just kind of sit. And then if they start to break, then you might want to take the trade.
I think this $70 level is really juicy here for the PANW. I mean, it's trading up on an odd lot here, 70.56, but you
Yeah, it's
had
offered 69.87 though,
yeah,
so that's still
in
one shot there.
69.95 was your high. Back on the 10th here, so that's tasty. Also, when you look at it, we've basically came down from 81 to 59, 59. Let's call
Mm-hmm.
that. So what that 22-point move? You tack 11 onto that 59.20, takes you up to 70.20. So moment of truth here for this area. Got at the $70 level. That's the 50% retracement. I think you're going to find some good
Is that what
resistance
it
there.
is? I was just going to bring that up.
Yeah,
Where the
yeah,
fibs stand.
you had that one spike high there, and then you came back down. But be keeping an eye on the 70 if it gets there today in the S&Ps. All right, we're starting to pull back a little bit here, Harlan. Maybe your cautious talk is hit some of the traders out there. The S&Ps are pulling back here, so you're looking for some more choppy action today.
Yeah, I don't think this isn't exactly a very easy market to trade as we've all seen the last couple of days. So, maybe just pulling your horns until something settles in and, sit back and look for names and allow them to come to you versus reacting and chasing them. I mean, going back to the Palo Alto, that spike that you talked about at 70, look at that. If you were buying that strength,
Yeah, whooped.
later on that day, you just got hammered really fast. So, instead of buying strengths, maybe you ought to be selling strengths.
Okay. All right.
So,
Words of caution from Harlan Pyan, all about trends
yeah,
here on Benzinga's pre-market prep show. Harlan, thanks for joining us here on Wednesday. Enjoy your day off on Friday and your Easter dinner, and we'll check in with you again next week.
betcha all you guys do the same.
Okay.
Thanks, Harlan.